They say data is the most valuable asset on the planet. So what happens when the very rules meant to protect it just break? This is an investigation into data governance.
$872 million. No, that's not a company's valuation. It's a bill. It's the immediate cost of a single governance failure. Back in February 2024, a ransomware attack hit Change Healthcare, and it basically paralyzed the entire U.S. medical payment system. And that number, well, that was just the start of the financial bleeding.
See, these things, they aren't just technical glitches. They're not just about a firewall failing or a piece of encryption cracking. No, these are systemic failures. They're failures of oversight, of accountability, failures of the very rules that are supposed to be watching over our most critical information. They are, at their core, failures of governance. So you have to ask, how does this actually happen? How can one unprotected access point bring an entire industry to its knees? Well, to get to the bottom of that, you first have to understand the kind of chaos that governance is designed to prevent in the first place. Think about it like this. Imagine trying to clean a house where junk has been piling up for, say, 30 years. You have no idea what to keep, what to throw away. You don't even know where anything is. Or, that infuriating customer service call, the one where you have to give your account number to 3 different people because their systems don't talk to each other? Right. That's what an organization looks like without data governance. It's a house with no rules, and inside, critical information gets lost, misused, or just left wide open. Now, people get these terms mixed up all the time, but they are fundamentally different things. Think of it this way. Data governance is kind of like the legislative and judicial branch. It asks the big question: who has the right to decide what the rules are? Then you have data management. That's the executive branch. It asks, okay, how do we actually implement that decision? And finally, there's data compliance. That's the audit. It just asks one simple thing: did we follow the rules? So, governance decides, management does, and compliance checks. Simple as that. But here's the thing. Technology can't govern itself. You need people. You need a social structure, a protocol for accountability to make any of these rules actually mean something. And the key here, the absolutely crucial point, is the separation of duties. At the very top, you've got the data owner. This is a business executive, someone who is ultimately accountable for the data. They don't touch the servers. Their job is to set the business requirements. Then you have the data steward. This person is a subject matter expert who translates that high-level policy into actual operational rules. They're the glue holding it all together. And finally, there's the data custodian. That's the IT professional who manages the physical hardware and software. Their job is to keep it safe. The whole system breaks down when a custodian is forced to make a steward's decision. So, just as we were starting to get a handle on governing normal data, a ghost entered the machine, generative AI. And believe me, it does not play by the old rules. The first big challenge, hallucination. You see, traditional data is binary. It's either right or it's wrong. But AI introduces this bizarre third state, plausible, but completely fabricated. All of a sudden, governance can't just check for accuracy anymore. Now it has to watch out for answers that are dangerously convincing but totally false. Second problem, model drift. An AI model isn't some static piece of software you install and forget about. It actually degrades over time. As the real world changes, the data it was trained on becomes obsolete, and its predictions just silently become less and less accurate. Without governance to monitor this drift, your AI is basically flying blind. And that brings us to the most insidious threat of all, data poisoning. This isn't about breaking in from the outside. No, this is about corrupting the AI's memory. Malicious actors can intentionally poison the training data to control how it behaves later, creating a vulnerability from the inside out. And here's how scary that can be. An attacker can sneak a hidden trigger into the training data. The AI model works perfectly fine for millions of queries. But then, when it sees one specific secret phrase or image, bam! It executes a malicious command, maybe bypassing all your safety filters, leaking sensitive data, or approving a fraudulent transaction. It becomes a sleeper agent living inside your own system. So the response to these complex new threats can't just be more paperwork or bigger committees. No, the solution has to be built directly into the system itself. Your architecture has to become the law. And right now, 2 big ideas have emerged for how to build this law. The first one is called data mesh. Its philosophy is that governance should be decentralized. It pushes ownership out to the teams that actually use the data, kind of like giving each department its own rulebook.
The second approach is data fabric, which is much more centralized. It uses AI to create a smart layer on top of everything, automating governance from a single point of control. So that's the big question. Do you decentralize power or do you centralize intelligence?
Now, at the heart of both of these philosophies is a core principle: policy as code. What this means is your rules are no longer just words sitting in a document somewhere, they're executable logic. This little snippet here, written in a language called Rego, basically says a user is allowed access only if their role is analyst and the data sensitivity is not high. This isn't a guideline. It's an automated, unbreakable rule that's enforced every single time that data is requested. And when we ignore these principles, both the human protocols and these architectural laws, the consequences, well, they aren't theoretical. They're a matter of public record. Every one of these disasters was a very specific failure of governance. Uber in 2016, that was a failure of ethical governance that led to a massive cover-up. Equifax in 2017, a failure of basic patch management and communication. Cambridge Analytica was a failure to manage third-party risk. The Snowflake breaches in 2024, a failure of simple identity hygiene, not enforcing multi-factor authentication. And Change Healthcare, where we started, a failure of asset inventory. They didn't even know an unprotected system existed. And if there's one final mandate that comes out of all of this, it's from the Cambridge Analytica scandal. See, Facebook had a policy. They had a legal agreement that developers were supposed to follow, but they relied on trust. And effective governance, it doesn't trust. It verifies. It enforces. Because in a world that runs on data, trust is not a control. So the only question that's left is, are your controls actually in control?